Hey, so I am here to do another one of my to-do vlogs for my different businesses that I have this week. And last week I relaunched my webcomic and showed the numbers that were the result of that week one launch. So this week I had decided to change what I had learned. Or let's put it this way, fix what I had learned. Change makes it sound like I failed. It just didn't do well yet, and I learned from it. I still have a lot of to-do things this week. I walked over here with some stuff I'm going to list in my vintage store, podcast coming out, and I have another interview to book. I have a live stream happening. I have a lot of stuff to do this week, and I wrote down everything that I need to do, and I do that every week. That's this video. Everything's important, but nothing is prioritized, and I have to figure that out. I go, here's what I want to do. Here's how I should figure it out once I write it down. I don't think of it while I'm writing. That's the thing. Otherwise, I feel like I'll forget stuff. So what really gets done first this week on my to-do list? So as I'm looking over my to-do list here, I am really checking for actions that I want to accomplish this week. And from this list, I would say the email sign-up integration, because that was one of the problems I had last week. Then, of course, I want to make sure that distribution of the things that I do still get out there. So I'm going to be publishing and scheduling shorts for the podcast that I'm doing and for the live stream. And it's really all about consistency. While I write down all these things that are things I want to do, things I want to start, things I want to try out, the overall goal really is consistency, and it's weekly reoccurring tasks. You know, I don't want to constantly be going, how do I do this? How do I do this? What's working? So like I said, first of all, I last week mentioned that I felt like people didn't understand how to sign up for my RSS comic email list, so I could get their attention. They follow the comic, they learn more, and then I can really grow the audience. So I concentrated on the comic post email sign-up integration most of all on the website. I also drafted how I'm going to do that RSS comic email that goes out every time I push a new comic to the site, and gave it some calls to action, some buttons, some things to do, just so it's not, here's the comic and they continue to get it and nothing becomes of it, or no message gets out there. So I built it from an RSS feed. I wrote in some specific code in case people just use the RSS feed that goes, here's my latest book, or follow me on this site, or I can, in the email itself, put in different ads. And right now I'm testing out a banner for my other comic to kind of bring traffic over to both my diary comic and my humor comic. So been working on that, still testing that out, trying some different examples, but that's what I have so far. I also have a section on the site that I did for new people that arrive on the site, where they'll look at the comics and it's kind of like get a random comic, get today's comic, or start from the very beginning. So they don't have to go backwards, they can go forward. That sounded poetic. Anyway, so I want to keep that movement concrete. I'm trying to make it more automated, more obvious, and really just build the audience so I can get back to just posting my comic. Just posting the comic, it gets updated, people find it, and it grows on its own. And that's the process that I'm in right now. So right now it's small things on my list that I pick that will really work towards my next move of things being more consistent, automated, and just going through distribution of what I want to do. So what is one small thing that you try to figure out when you're building, say, your comic or your artwork or your videos or your music? How do you decide what move you want to focus on? I'd be curious. I mean, that's my method. I write it all out and then go, okay, not this, maybe pass that off next week. Sometimes I just forget entirely of things I wrote down, but I write it first and then choose what makes the most sense. So I'd be curious to know how you decide what you want to get done for your creative stuff. that is it for this week. I am going to go list some stuff now, take some photos, and post these online. And I will see you next time.